Welcome to Trash Talk Video Tip of the Week, brought to you by thejanitorialstore.com.
Well, let's take a look at floor pads. The pads that I have right here are used for stripping and scrubbing. So typically your black pads are for stripping, and you can get some black pads that are high productivity pads. The weave is a little more aggressive. You can also use a green. Every manufacturer has their own color code as to what they're used for. So when you go out to purchase pads, always ask about the different colors and make sure that you're getting the right pad for the job that you're going to perform. The red can be used for scrubbing, and so can the brown and the blue. So it all depends on the type of job that you're doing and the surface that you're cleaning and the soil loads, what you're trying to remove. On the other hand, after you've got a finished floor, you may want to be doing some high-speed burnishing or spray buffing. So here what we have, these are all high-speed floor pads. And again, they go from aggressive to least aggressive. And also, you always want to match up your floor pad when burnishing or spray buffing to the floor finish you have on the floor. If you have a softer finish, you probably wouldn't want to go after it with this hog hair pad. You could end up with swirl marks and some other problems. So you may go down to a pink eraser or even a white pad to buff that type of floor. If you have a harder surface, then you may go to a more aggressive pad as a horsehair. Always check with your supplier and find out what that pad is used for on what type of finish as far as the hardness. That'll really save you a lot of work in the long run. You definitely don't want to damage your floor after you spent all that time stripping and waxing it and you're coming back 30 days later to buff or burnish it. Typically on a high-speed buff pad, they're going to be 20-inch pads. You can buff a floor with a 17-inch pad, but it's going to take you quite a while to get the results that you want. You want the floor to snap. When you run your high speed over it, you want that shine just to snap back. With a slow speed machine, it would take you quite a long time to achieve that, where with a high speed machine, a 1500 on up, you can get them results rather quickly. And obviously with the higher RPM and the heavier the machine, you can get them results very, very fast. So those are some things that you want to consider when you're buying high-speed buffing pads and stripping and scrubbing pads. And again, match up the size of the pad to your machine. If you're running a 17-inch machine, get 17-inch pads. If you got a 20-inch machine, get a 20-inch pad. Pads will generally run you anywhere from $5 to $10 per pad, depending on the type you get and the manufacturer. The thing about floor pads is that some people think that they can only use them once and then they throw them away. That's not true. You definitely don't want to do that. They cost you way too much money to just use them once and then toss them out. We always suggest that after you use a floor pad, rinse it out, clean it, and then hang it and let it dry, and you'll be able to use that floor pad many, many times. And in fact, I'll show you what we do as far as cleaning our strip and scrub pads and also our burnishing pads, to where we can get many uses out of them before we actually cut them up and use them into hand pads. Well, what we have been doing for many years is we'd get a plastic 55-gallon drum and we'd cut it off. What we would do is we'd just fill this up with water and stripper about halfway, submerge our pads in it, and let them soak for 24 hours. And we just come back and hose them off at the mop sink, then hang them up to dry on a pole. Works very, very well. What that does is it extends the life of your pads, both your stripping, scrubbing, and buffing pads, to where you'll get many, many more uses out of them. The thing is that your janitorial supplier is going to be a little upset with you because you're not going to be going in there as often to buy pads if that's what you use. But that's okay, because we're looking at our bottom line, and anything that we can do to reduce our supply costs is the thing that we want to do. But like I say, it works very well. Just fill it up about halfway, put some stripper in there, let them soak for 24 hours, pull them out, hose them off, and hang them and let them dry. And as soon as they're dry, they're good to go. You will know when the pad is, when it's thin, that's the time to just go ahead and cut it up and use it as a hand pad, which is another handy tip. So using them as hand pads for your stripping and scrubbing process, and even buffing to remove black here marks and things like that. You can cut them up to where you can put them on a mop handle to help scrub areas up. If you'd like to find more information on pads and brushes and other cleaning procedures, please visit thejanitorialstore.com.
For more weekly cleaning tips, visit thejanitorialstore.com and sign up for Trash Talk Cleaning Tip of the Week.